In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a few of the biggest mistakes that I've noticed that people are making when they are trying to network for a product manager interview. This is specifically people that are trying to network at a meetup or at a conference to get product manager interviews so they can ultimately go ahead and land a product manager job. My name is Rich. I'm one of the co-founders of Product Gym, the #1 online resource to everything related to product manager interviewing and product manager job hunting. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and do me a gigantic favor and subscribe so you can be notified of our latest videos. With that said, I want to go ahead and talk to you about my own personal opinions. If you have watched my previous videos either on this YouTube channel or on the Product Gym YouTube channel, you're probably going to say to yourself, Rich, I thought you were not a fan of networking. Personally speaking, I am not. But if you're going to go ahead and do it, you might as well go ahead and do it right. If you're going to go ahead and spend your time either physically commuting, which are 2 legs, to go and network to get product manager interviews with the intention of landing a product manager job, or if you're living in most other cities in America, or maybe it's the UK or Canada, and you're going to physically drive there, spend your own money to pay for gas, get your parking validated, risk having your car broken into if you're living in certain cities on the West Coast, you should get a return on your investment of time, energy, and effort. So let's go ahead and break down what are some of the biggest mistakes. The biggest mistakes that I've noticed, starting from the very top, about why people are not finding success at all in networking for product manager jobs, or getting product manager interviews via networking, is when they're going to some kind of meetup. That meetup isn't geared towards getting product manager interviews per se. They just know that other product managers are going to be there. So when you're talking to these people, you don't necessarily know if they have a product manager role that's open or if that role reports to them directly. And this is going to be a waste of your time, because usually when you're networking, time is of the essence. Time is never our friend. In order for you to go ahead and have a very meaningful conversation with somebody, you need about 10 to 15 minutes. About, generally speaking, 3 to 5 minutes of chit chat, and then about 5 to 10 minutes where you actually get down to business. Most networking sessions last anywhere between, I would say, 1 hour to no more than 2 hours. Maybe it might go farther, but there is a peak time where that 1 hour is going to be a fire sale. You want to go ahead and maximize that 1 hour of time. So that means in that 1 hour, you can basically have 4 meaningful conversations with 4 people. Granted, those are people that you should be talking to. If it's people that you should not be talking to, you should make it very clear to yourself that you do not want to waste your time, because those conversations are going to lead nowhere. So you want to go and clarify whether or not you should be talking to these people within the first 30 seconds. Make it clear who you are, make it clear what it is that you want, and make it clear that you're here to network for interviews, as said so, as displayed on the event copy. That's why you're out there along with other people. Don't beat around the bush. Go ahead and ask, is there a product manager position that's open on your team? Is the position officially open? And does the position report directly to you? Why? Nothing is going to happen at that networking event. Nothing at all. That networking event is a sale. It is a sale to sell you on a second conversation that might lead to an interview. It is highly unlikely that you're going to be able to convert a product manager interview from a cold contact via networking for your second round. Usually, you're networking, you're talking to them about setting up, honestly, another time to talk, to possibly interview, which is why I'm not a fan of networking, because of how much time it takes. So a lot of times when I see people, they're like, oh yeah, I've met a lot of great people. Okay, great. Did anything happen? Well, no, but I've met a lot of great people. So what was the point of going out there? It's like, you went out there to go ahead and talk to people. Yes, I guess that was some exposure, but you know what ends up happening is like, oh yeah, so we're getting ready to open up that role 3 months from now. You need a job right now. You don't need a job 3 months from now. You don't want to be on the job hunt 3 months from now. You don't want to be job hunting for another 3 months. You need a job right now. Okay, so that was a waste of my time. Oh yeah, it reports on another team. This is also what I've noticed. That's also kind of why I'm not a fan of networking. I get a lot of insights from people that are doing networking, and it's just like you meet people that want to meet you to be a friend. Sometimes you meet people that want to date you that you have no intention of dating. That also leads to nowhere, right? So you need to be very clear. Is this position officially open? Does this position report directly to you? If it doesn't, then there's no reason for us to talk. And if it's like, oh yeah, that position is open, it reports to on my friend's team. Is your friend here? Make it clear. Like, why are we spending all this time? It's just leading nowhere. The second biggest mistake that I notice people make is they go to a networking session and they actually don't have a product manager resume on a hard copy ready for them. I know right now we're really big on paperless, but you should have a physical copy of your resume ready to go, and you should be ready to pitch. If that's the person that says, yeah, that's actually on my team, and they actually want to talk about the role, and they are ready to talk about the role, and they might see that you have a really good background, you need to operate with the intention that you should be ready to interview that night. Too many people are like, well, I don't want to seem pushy, and then all of a sudden somebody actually wants to interview them and they're not expecting it. Expectation is everything. If you're not expecting to get a lot out of that networking event, and I know this is where I sound like a hypocrite, it's like, well, I thought you said networking is not a great use of your time. Well, if you're going to do it, you might as well go ahead and go all the way. Usually I haven't seen a lot of people get a lot of success from it, but there are, I would say, it's a numbers game. If you talk to 4 people an hour, and I think that's a lot of effort for an hour, because if you're applying at scale, like how we're teaching our members how to do it, you should be able to ping about anywhere between 50 to 60 hiring managers. That's very possible. Even on the low end, you're pinging about 10 to 15 hiring managers. You're still getting a better return, I think, on your energy and effort versus talking to 4 people. I think that's way more energy intensive, and you got to physically travel out there. But in the case of, I think if you talk to 8 people, or if you talk to 15 people that night, and some people can really make their way around the venue, it's very possible that you have 1 or 2 people, granted that you also have something to offer, that's going to want to interview you on the spot. Be ready to interview on the spot. Go down your resume and actually talk about, like, hey, this is what I bring to the table. Well, get ready to go ahead and do the interview live with them. That's another thing. Third biggest mistake that I see is because so much of networking is really just selling, having a great conversation to sell them on another conversation, is a lot of times people don't know how to go ahead and run the follow-up because they have a great conversation with somebody that night, and then all of a sudden they don't know how to go ahead and pick up that engagement again. Well, here's something that I'd like to go ahead and suggest. When you're going out on a networking session, have your iPhone ready and have your LinkedIn app out, and go ahead and get ready to exchange contact information and ping them on LinkedIn. Hey, can I connect with you on, there's a few people that I have to say hi to tonight. Some of my friends are here. Can I go ahead and actually connect with you on LinkedIn? Sure. Connect with them on LinkedIn, send a message. Make sure they got your invite too, and make sure they accept your invite, and let them know. And I actually have a block that's free tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I'm just gonna send you a quick message because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of people that you're gonna talk to, and book the appointment right there. I'm gonna follow up with you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. When do you think we can go ahead and actually chat this week? If you're gonna go there, set up the expectation of when are you free? Most likely you're gonna be free at lunchtime. Most likely you're gonna go ahead and be free at after 5 or 6 o'clock during the day, or there's some other blocks of time that you're free. You should know your calendar better than anybody else. Everybody has the Gmail calendar, the Google Calendar app on their iPhone, or a calendar app on their iPhone already. You should be able to say to them, what's your availability looking like this week? Book your own calls. Add their email in there. Send them the Google Calendar invite on the spot. And if you got Zoom, make sure that you're sending them Zoom. Let them know, because that level of professionalism, how you do anything is how you do everything. If you're already coming in here that strong, people should be genuinely impressed by you. Boom. you already leave an unforgettable impression. That's going to make them, make you stand out in front of them. The next biggest mistake that I see people making on at a networking event, on top of everything that I've just listed, not having their resume, not setting times, going out there and spending too much time talking to people, right, is actually like the questions that you're asking about the role itself. This one's a little bit complicated, but I see people a lot of times they're asking, just ask for the interview. When I go to a networking session, because we also host a few here at Product Gym, I see that people are asking so what do you look for in a product manager at Spotify? What type of skills do product managers at that would make a good product manager over there at Airbnb? How did you get in there? Ask for the interview. I saw that there was a product manager position posted for Spotify or Airbnb, and I would like to go ahead and interview for that role. I have a resume. So years back, pre-pandemic, we used to host an in-person meetup every Tuesday here in New York City, and we would actually bring in product managers from all the top companies in New York to talk to people. And I noticed that people would always ask those questions and nobody actually wanted to ask for the interview. They would politely wait until the end of the speaker's presentation. And it was very clear to me, let's just be honest here. I think being honest is just way more simple. It's way more effective too. It's like they couldn't wait for the presentation and the Q&A between the panel to be over so they can just ask questions, because ultimately you were here for the purpose of getting a product manager job, right? And it's like, what do you guys look for in a product manager at Spotify? What do you guys look for in a product manager at WeWork? What do you guys look, back when WeWork was cool, what do you look for in a product manager at Airbnb? And all that other kind of stuff. And it's just like, I remember there's this one girl that just raised up her hand with the resume and she said, I saw that there was a product manager position posted up and it says that it reports to XYZ person. And I looked up, you have the exact same title on LinkedIn. Are you responsible for hiring for the role? Yes. I would like to interview for you. Is it possible that we speak about the role right now? And that person being put on the spot was like, yeah, sure, I'll do the interview. And that person didn't end up getting the job, but at least they got a chance to go ahead and shoot their shot. So if you're going into networking, I just don't think it's very scalable, but if you're gonna go ahead and do it, you might as well go ahead and do it right. And instead of just I know a lot of people, listen, I commend people for showing up, because that's way better than not doing anything. And I think there's more people that's doing nothing than people that's doing something. So if you are showing up, this video was not to go ahead and badger you, but I think the ultimate intention for people going to a networking session is I gotta feel like I'm doing something. And it's you're there, but you don't really know what to do. Hopefully you're able to take these tips and go out there and actually get a better return. Now, for Product Gym, we host hiring fairs as well, but those hiring fairs are for the very explicit purpose of actually introducing candidates who are members at Product Gym to hiring managers. And we actually walk people around, lead people through, practically holding hands and say, hey, I want you to go ahead and meet Celine. I want you to go ahead and meet Lisa. I want you to go ahead and meet this person. And actually say, and they're coming out from this background, they're very interested in this role. That is a very clear meetup in terms of what everybody's trying to accomplish. Hiring managers are coming here looking to hire. Candidates are coming in here looking for interviews and jobs. I see that most meetups, and it's not your fault, they're just not set up properly. Unfortunately, most cities across America have not fully recovered post-pandemic, because pre-pandemic, which seems like an eternity ago, that was actually going on and it was very effective. But now that everybody's working from home, we're not really seeing that. And I don't think we're going to see that come back anytime soon. With that said, if you're going to networking events, chances are it's you feel that applying with your resume for days on end is not effective. You're not hearing back from companies. You're not getting any type of traction or momentum by applying. You feel like you're sending your resume directly from your computer straight into a black hole. DM me on LinkedIn. Let me go ahead and review your resume. Chances are there's something that's not resonating with the ATS, because if it was working, you'd be able to generate at least 6 to 12 product manager interviews a week like our members. My name is Rich. If you found any value in this video at all, please like, comment, subscribe. We are going to be posting up more YouTube videos, both here on my personal YouTube channel, as well as the Product Gym YouTube channel, to go ahead and give you, all of you, more resources and more content so you can finally land this job in one of the most brutal tech hiring markets ever. That said, happy hunting. I look forward to speaking with you very, very soon. Connect with me on LinkedIn if you want to get your resume reviewed.